Hello, my name is Mark Johnson with iCEV. I want to thank each of you for joining us here at the conference. It's our first annual iCEV virtual conference, and today we're super excited to have three panelists from our iCEV Business Marketing, IT, and Finance user panel. And we're going to kind of go around the room and let them introduce themselves, and then we'll get into some questions that they can share some of their ideas with how they utilize iCEV. So I'll start with you, Miss Hendricks.
Hello, my name is Jessie Hendricks, and I'm a business education teacher at Geneva County High School in Hartford, Alabama. I've just completed my 4th year of teaching. Prior to teaching, I worked 15 years in the medical business field. And after having my first baby, I decided that I wanted a job that allowed me to have more time with him and my family. So I came into the education sector and have not, I'm where I'm supposed to be. So I love what I get to do, and I love getting to bring what I learned from industry into the classroom. So, and then iCEV just adds a whole nother level of help in the classroom as well for me. So, but anyways, that's all I can say about me.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sandifer.
Hi, my name is Berg Sandifer, and I teach business education at Darlington County Institute of Technology in Darlington County, South Carolina. And we have students from 4 high schools that visit our campus each and every day, and then they go back for the other half of the day to their home campuses for further study. And this is going to be my 15th year in education on the school side, and I was a minister of education for about 10 years in various churches. So I've been in the education field for 25 years, and I'm still excited about it, excited about us being able to share some things virtually, and looking forward to learning as well.
That's awesome. Mr. Soto, tell us about you.
Hello, my name is Roland Soto. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I teach for Albuquerque Public Schools here in Albuquerque. We are one of the, I believe, the 4th largest school districts in the nation. We're pretty big. And I've been teaching for about 12 years. I teach business marketing and finance. And prior to that, I worked in the military defense industry for about 20 years. And I got tired of working long hours and double shifts. So I had been coaching for quite a while, and I started transitioning over and teaching. I've been using the iCEV format and products for about 5 years, and it has been a great help to me and my students over the last 5 years. And like the other panelists, I'm looking forward to learning more about the products, because every year they're updating them and changing them, and I like that.
Super. Well, that's exciting. Again, we're really excited that all 3 of you are joining us today. There's some different backgrounds, so I think all of our viewers at the conference are going to benefit from all the different experiences. With that said, we'll get started kind of with our questions, and the first is really, how do you utilize iCEV with the courses in your classroom? I'll start with you, Mr. Sandifer.
All right, well, I teach about 4 or 5 different subject areas in business education, and I use iCEV in each and every one. We still teach something called integrated business applications, which deals with Word and Microsoft products, and iCEV has great modules in that with a lot of supplemental material for students to use and projects and files. I also use it in sports and entertainment marketing, business law, and I tell you what, it has really helped me for these last 4 years. I got started in iCEV because our ag teacher was using it, and we were talking about it one day, and he said, hey, I think they've got some business content as well. And I tell you what, it's really been great to have it as part of my content area. And of course, going through what we've gone through this year, it came in huge these last 9 weeks of school here in South Carolina. And so I'm very excited about what iCEV has offered and what it will continue to offer, because y'all are always adding new features, and that's exciting.
Thank you very much. Mr. Soto, how do you utilize iCEV with your courses?
So currently I use the platform as a supplement. So I teach a Business 1 course, a Business 2, and I also teach a computer applications course, which also uses Word, Excel, and things like that. And what I really like is it serves as a supplement to what I'm doing out of the book we use. And a lot of it falls in line with what we're teaching already. And I really enjoy the videos. The kids like those because they're up to date, they're real world. And I also use quite a bit the vocabulary that comes out of the module, whatever module I'm using. And the kids get a lot out of the vocabulary that we pull from there, because sometimes it's a little different from when we're using the book. So each time I show both the iCEV product and my book, they get a lot more content than they would just if I'm using, you know, one item.
Absolutely, and I'm sure the students enjoy a little bit of that diversity as well as you utilize multiple different items. So that's
Oh, they love the
exciting.
videos. They get tired of looking out of a book all the time, so they love the videos.
Right. Ms. Hendricks?
We have been using iCEV for the last 4 years. It was actually my first year teaching that they introduced it. Our CTE director made that investment across the county for all the CTE teachers to have. And it was great for me because, first of all, I was a new teacher. And second, we didn't have books, so we had very limited resources. So I was really, you know, coming in, everything's there. That's what I love about iCEV. There's several things I love about iCEV, but everything you need is right there. And I use it for all of my classes. I teach 6 classes a day. And so I teach BTA, business tech applications, multimedia design, publications, sports and entertainment marketing, business finance, and this year we'll be doing business essentials. And we also teach a career prep class. So all of those classes we utilize 100%. We do the interactive and we do the extra activities and assignments that are also embedded as well. So I'm just a huge advocate because I can get everything I need right there in that one spot. I don't have to go chase down lesson plans in other places. So I was really proud of that investment because it's been a great opportunity for us to have it all together. And like you said, they keep it up to date. It's not like, you know, a book sometimes, especially in the business industry, if you publish a book, it's already kind of outdated. So what I love about iCEV is they do a great job about keeping it updated. So great material, and use it 100% in the classroom.
Thank you. Next question is kind of along those same lines, but if you had to pick one feature, what might be your favorite feature that you utilize with iCEV? And Mr. Soto, I'll start with you.
So as I mentioned before in the other question, my favorite is the videos. And the reason I like them so much is, one, they're easy to follow along. I use them in class, and then if a student misses, they can go back and look at the video on their own. It really comes in handy when I have students who are absent, because if they have access to you know, the internet at home, they can use their internet at home to look at the videos and follow along. But I think the main reason I like the video so much is it falls in line with 21st century learning, which is essential for our students. It's terrible to say sometimes, but we have so many students who don't look at a book very often. They would rather watch a video or have you say it to them. But, you know, I sometimes have a hard time getting my kids to read the content. So the video is great to supplement that, because what they do miss out of the book, they'll definitely pick up out of the video.
That's interesting. You make a great point. You know, students today, they have your core subject areas and they have a book traditionally for all of those areas. And they come out to a CTE class, and you being able to mix that up and bring in some different learning styles with video and PowerPoints, I think they appreciate that because they have so much work they do out of a textbook in the core areas. So that was kind of the philosophy behind CEV when we started. So I'm glad that that is working with your students. Ms. Hendricks, what is your favorite feature?
I have several favorite features, but if I had to narrow down one, it would probably be one that we learned about, and I don't know how long it's been available. This year, our rep taught us how to do comprehensive tests. if you're on the dashboard in that classroom and you're wanting to put together a test from multiple lesson plans that you have done over a course of so many weeks, you can go and customize a comprehensive final semester exam. And, you know, being a busy teacher, it's hard sometimes to remember, hey, what have I gone back and, you know, what have we taught? What would be good to make sure I covered in the comprehensive final? So it's good that you can just kind of, you go in and you pick out the questions you want. It puts together that comprehensive exam for you, and you can push that to the students. So this year, that has been something that has been very beneficial in the classroom when you're trying to come up with 6 different exams each semester. Just to go in and be able to put together something real quick that follows exactly, because I hate when students say, well, we didn't go over that in class, or we didn't touch on that question. Well, this way you make sure you cover that the questions that you are asking in that comprehensive are definitely something that they've already seen earlier in a lesson plan or an exam that they've had before. So that's a feature that I've really enjoyed this year.
I'm glad you like that. And the neat thing about the customized assessment feature is that was really brought to us from our customers, from teachers in the classroom. They ask us if, hey, have you ever thought about giving us the opportunity to create our own exam or add our own questions to a specific exam that we build? And that input from teachers and from our customers really helps us evolve the platform and make the product better. So I'm glad you like it, because it came from your peers. So that's exciting. Mr. Sandifer, what about you?
Well, I'm just going to broaden what my colleague in Alabama mentioned about the customization. iCEV is fully customizable at every level for every course. I have full access to every lesson in the business and marketing sector. And if I don't think a course has that little niche I'm looking for with a standard that I might be trying to share, I can bring in a lesson, I can customize it. In South Carolina, we've had business teachers that have actually customized the iCEV course to reflect our course standards that are uniform across the state of South Carolina. And so when you see SC standards, business law, I don't have to wonder really what's in there or what's not in there. And I can also edit that at any time, at anywhere. The full customization is incredible. You can do just interactive things. You can do the printables. I like the vocabulary as well. When students are like, how am I going to study for this vocabulary quiz? I'm like, let me give you access to the printable vocabulary sheet that comes up on your screen, and they have access to it on any device. The customization feature of what we're able to do in a variety of courses across curriculum and content is very exciting as a teacher, and I don't have to reinvent the wheel time and time again.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. You know, our next question, I think, helps everybody, but is there one specific strategy that you have used that our viewers could benefit from? You guys are all experienced with iCEV, so is there one strategy you can think of? Ms. Hendricks, I'll start with you.
Well, this year, I really appreciated the interactive component of iCEV because I was out on maternity leave for about 10 weeks. And, you know, being that we're going into a new school year with a lot of unknowns in the virtual platform, it's real easy to assign different lessons, different activities for the students. When I was out on leave and had a sub in the room, when you plan to go out on leave like that, you have your lesson plans in place, but obviously you have some classes that either get ahead or maybe are not really going along with the plan. But those that get ahead, what I love about iCEV is you can go in real quick and find another lesson to assign to those students. Even like you were saying about the customization, if I wanted to go and find something on soft skills, if just so that we're kind of staying in the time frame that I'm looking at, I can go find something on soft skills. I can find something for their CTSO. Assign it real quick, contact that sub, say, hey, tell them to go in this and get it completed. And even as if you wake up one day and you're sick or your child is sick and you can't get in or you can't go to the actual school to make an assignment, it's so nice to go into iCEV, create those assignments, contact your sub, tell the students, hey, log in, this is what you're going to do today. And then it goes a step further, you have your grades right there remotely that you can access. And I didn't have to step foot during my maternity leave. I had everything right in my home as they did their assignments. I could put those grades in. So that is just so good. And I think going into this year of unknown will be a big benefit. So, and I focus on that because our first year as a county, we didn't have the interactive. So I would highly encourage administrators or teachers to get that interactive license because it is worth the money to do that, because that was a lifesaver for me this past year.
Awesome. Mr. Sandifer, one strategy you can think of?
Well, one thing on an administrative side for teachers that I have utilized with iCEV is every year we're asked to give emergency plans if we aren't able to get in, like Ms. Hendricks said, or something happens. And now pretty much I have created a lesson that says emergency plans, and I have that tucked away where it can be found very easily. And, you know, that's less paper, that's less keeping up with things. I can share those links with my administrator at school and they can see those. And, you know, being able to do that is a great strategy every year. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, iCEV, all of your staff keeps bringing up the new content. And so I don't have to wonder, is this as up to date as it could be? Because when you look at iCEV lessons, if they've updated, it will say new. And that lets you know they've done some updates in those lessons. I can focus on just certain parts of a lesson to show students. If there's 4 activities and I only want them to do 1 interactive lesson, I can turn everything else off for that lesson. So again, being able to have those lessons at our fingertips, if that's all we talked about for 20 minutes, it'd be worth having iCEV. I can guarantee you that for sure.
That's awesome. Mr. Soto.
So the strategy I really like that this tool allows is cooperative learning. And I say that because so many of our students love to work individually. But when they get into the real world, they're going to have to work in groups or as a team in many cases, as I did when I came from industry. So the product allows for cooperative learning where you have projects within each one of the lessons, you know, and there's multiple products you can choose from or product. What I like is you're allowed to group a group of students together, have them work on the project. And in my case, I often have them present in class. And I like that because that's real world. That's what's going to happen. You're going to be put on a team. You're going to have a task. You're going to have to complete that task. And when you do, you have to present it to your manager or your customer or whoever that's going to be. And I like the fact that the tool and the lessons allow for that, where you have both the individual and you have the projects, which when you look out of a textbook, it doesn't always, you know, separate it that way. So I like the cooperative learning aspect of the tool.
Yeah, preparing the students to play well with others. That's exciting. That's a good concept.
Oh
That
yeah,
is real world.
For the first assignment, I let them choose their partner. And after the first one, I choose their partner. And so many times, well, I don't want to work with that person. And I say, hey, when you go into a job, you don't choose who you work with. So that's a real learning experience for them.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. Thanks for sharing that. You know, I'll wrap it up with this last question, and I think it's important. But what piece of advice would you offer to someone that maybe has never utilized iCEV and they're a first-time user? And I think we'll have some of those in the audience here at the conference. So if you could share one piece of advice, I think that would be super important. And I'll start with you, Mr. Sandifer.
Well, when you go into the iCEV login, it's very easy to become overwhelmed in a hurry because there's so many things you can do. Another feature that I'm looking forward to using this year is being able to use our LMS, which we use Schoology, and I'm going to be looking to learn how to link the iCEV directly into the LMS system that we use. But it could be very overwhelming. Just start where you are, and also don't hesitate to contact your representative because they will call you, email, they will come to your school when they're in your area, and there's always support. So I would say for me, I just took it one class at a time. We're going to try this lesson, and then you just build on it like you would with all the other resources that you have. And so I would say for people, for teachers that are wanting to try something totally interactive and accessible anywhere, talk to your administrator about giving it a try, and then just start where you are and lean on all the support iCEV will give you, and they will deliver the exact strategies and tools that you need to be successful inside and outside the classroom.
Thank you. That's great advice. Mr. Soto, what about you? What advice would you have?
I think the advice I would probably give is when you're about to, use a lesson or use one of the projects that you're going to be presenting to your students, go through it and see how it's laid out. Approach it like if you were taking the lesson yourself. Watch the entire video, look at the different lessons and see which ones are going to relate best with your students. Look at the projects and see which ones those are going to work for your students. Look at the vocabulary. In some cases, the vocabulary is quite large. There's quite a few vocabulary words on a particular lesson, and you may have covered those in a previous lesson. So again, the tool allows you to take out what you don't want. Don't use particular words that you had used in the past. So the tool allows you that ability to pick and choose what you want. So my advice is go through it first, step by step, before you jump into it with your students, and that'll help quite a bit, because I approach it like, okay, I'm going to take this lesson. What would I like and what would I not like?
Yeah, that's great advice. And I think there's so many pieces to each lesson. You're able to kind of pick and choose and find the ones that, and every one of your classes are different. So one
Correct.
project may resonate well with your first period class, but your third period class may not like it. So I think that's great advice. Ms. Hendricks, I'll let you wrap it up with this final question. And what advice would you have?
I would say, kind of what Dave said, don't be scared of it. When you go in, there is a lot of great material. I'm one of those that I like to kind of get in and dig deep and try to find. What I love is going into the library arsenal that y'all have of all the different lesson plans and seeing what other ones are not, because you have the cookie cutter where you go in, and if you want one specifically for business, finance, or accounting, you can select that class and go in and find a lot of the lesson plans that cover your course of study. But then if you want to add or customize, like we've talked about, you can go into their arsenal library of all these amazing things. And you can also touch on things like soft skills. If you want to get away from the curriculum for a day and talk about soft skills, or talk about your CTS or anything like that, that might be a little extra. There's just so much in there. So go in and dig and research and see what all. We offer for instance, our FBLA program has a photography business as our fundraiser. And a lot of that I push into our multimedia publication and design class. Well, this past year I went in and you got your basic classes, but then I went into the library and looked to see if there was anything, and they've added stuff on photography, graphic design, all these, like they said, new lessons. So that's what I love, is how innovative iCEV is. And also, like what was said, if you have any questions, I've had to reach out to our rep before and ask about something or ask about content on something, and they research, they update, and that's what I love. It's fresh. And there's a lot of material. You have plenty to do with each lesson to teach. And like what was said also, you're going to figure out what works best for your classroom. So you can do all the assignments, or some of them are supplement, but just don't be scared to get in there and learn what iCEV has to offer for you, because there's lots for your classroom.
Thank you. Those are great answers. That's great advice. Again, we'll have a lot of new folks that'll be viewing these workshops, and that's super beneficial for each and every one of them. At this time, we'll move towards the live Q&A, which will be done at the conference. But I do want to take time to say thanks to each one of you. I know everyone is busy. Your schedules are crazy. So to take the time out of your schedule to really help us and really gives some great advice and thoughts and ideas to folks attending our first annual virtual conference. We really appreciate that. Appreciate everything you do, not only for us, but for your students, and I'm sure they appreciate it as well. So enjoy the rest of your summer, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.